What's up, guys? It's the Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaru Usman. Guys, I know it's been a while. I haven't given you guys a full card breakdown in a while. But here we go, UFC 305, as I like to say. But it's going to be it's sneaky good card. I know a lot of the names aren't superstars jump out, but these are the kind of cards that are sneaky good, and they end up being a fantastic card, fantastic finishes. We're gonna go straight into the prelims, not the early prelims, but the prelims. I don't want to keep you guys all day, but first fight, Jenkins taking on Herbert Burns. This is a short notice fight, but I don't know too much about Jenkins, but if he's an intelligent fighter, he understands that I need to keep this fight standing. If we go to the ground, I might go home without an arm or a leg. So fighting Herbert Burns, keep the fight standing, and hopefully try to wear him out as the fight goes on. If not, I've got Herbert Burns for the submission. And Herbert, I believe, understands how important this fight is for himself and his career if he wants to continue in the UFC. So with that, I'm going to go with Herbert Burns for the submission. Next fight, you got Casey O'Neill taking on Luana Santos. Santos is kind of like the new Brazilian princess in the UFC, and the UFC is continuing to just kind of move her the appropriate way. This is a great fight for her. Casey O'Neill is very good striking, I believe. Really, really good technical striking. There's mistakes here and there, but they're all still up and coming. They're learning. But Luana Santos has been on a tear. She's looking good. She's shown that she could strike. She showed that definitely she could grapple once the fight goes to the ground. So it's a tough one, but I like. I'm gonna go with Luana Santos. I like Casey O'Neill. I think she definitely has the capabilities to pull it out, and she's an Aussie as well. But I'm gonna go with Luana Santos. I think she's on the climb right now. Next fight, we got Josh Culibao taking on Ricardo Ramos. Ricardo Ramos, a guy that I knew. He came down in Florida when I was still training down here and trained with the team. And he's a kid that is extremely talented. Well, a man that's extremely talented. He's not a kid anymore. But this was years ago. But he's a guy that goes to a lot of different gyms for a lot of different looks, which I don't mind that. But at some point, you have to have a home base. You have to have a solid foundation, the people that are going to know where you're your best, where you're your weakest, and continue to pour and give you all that knowledge. So I don't know if he's still bouncing from gym to gym, but I know he was extremely talented when he was down here. He had a lot of different skills in a lot of different area. He's just kind of been win one, lose one, and with that, I'm gonna go with Ricardo Ramos. I think it's about time he gets back on the winning track. I know it's kind of a pick'em fight. He's like the underdog here, but I'm gonna go with Ricardo Ramos. Next fight, Junior Tafa taking on Walter Walker. Walter Walker, I believe is his name. Don't kill me if I butcher these names, but I got a chance to watch Junior Tafa when he fought Muhammad Usman, and my brother, and I liked his resilience. He wasn't willing to quit. He was in there, and throughout the whole fight, he was still willing to throw shots that were going to stop the fight in any moment. I like that about him. Hopefully, he's worked on his areas where he was a little deficient in that fight, where he was taken down a few times, but I like Junior Tafa in this fight. I think if he lands, he connects, he's the type of guy that tries to take your head off. That's it for the prelim. We move on to the main card. First fight, we've got China's Jingliang. Don't. My fault. But Lee is very, very talented. I think he's a pretty good fighter. It's obviously when he lost that fight to Hamzat that kind of, he was on the wrong ends of the internet memes and internet trolls, but he's a pretty talented fighter. He's taking on Brazil's Carlos Prates or Prates. This guy's pretty good. Good Muay Thai fighter. He's a southpaw fighter. Very good straight left hand. Good knees. Good kicks as well. But the only thing about those Muay Thai fighters is if you can mix it up on them and potentially get them down, be safe and secure there, you could potentially win the fight that way. And we're going to be looking for Lee to be able to do that in this fight. But he's an underdog here. And I feel that if I was a betting man, this might be the type of fight that I might go with the underdog on. It's a tough one. But the Brazilian is he's feeling invincible right now. With his knees, he can line you up, throw that knee right to your liver, or straight left hand to sit you down. And I didn't see Lee Jingliang in this camp. He didn't come down here to South Florida for me to actually put some eyes on him. So I might have to go with the odds makers on this one. I'm going to go with Carlos. See, y'all killing me. I'm gonna go with Carlos. I'm gonna go with the Brazilian on this fight. Next fight, we got the heavyweight Tuivasa, number 10, taking on Rozenstruik, number 12. This is a good fight. I'm gonna go with Jorginho. I think where Tuivasa is very, very good, Rozenstruik is good as well as a kickboxer. Both of them have heavy hands. I'm gonna go with Rozenstruik. Next fight, we've got Matheus Gamrot taking on Dan Hooker. It's a really, really good fight. Dan Hooker is just one of those sleeper guys that he can submit you. He's a kickboxer, but he definitely a good submission game. But Matheus Gamrot is a guy that's relentless. One of the only few guys still in the UFC that's relentless with the takedowns, relentless with his wrestling. And that being said, I'm going to go with Gamrot for a potential 3-round decision. Next fight, co-main event, we got Kara France taking on Steve Erceg, the Australian, former title challenger. Kara France, also former title challenger. This is a great fight, a really, really good fight. I'm going to go with Steve Erceg, and I'm going to say winner. I would like to see, I think that last fight, Manel Kape did not go out there and represent himself in the way that he should have. But I think a potential fight with one of these two guys, which we do know there's underlying beef with him and Kara France. I think the winner of this fight, potentially, or maybe the loser, it doesn't matter. Loser or winner, I think it would be a great fight with a guy like Manel Kape. But if I had to pick, I'm going to go with Steve Erceg in that co-main event. Main event, we've got Dricus du Plessis taking on Israel Adesanya. From what I've seen going on, media all through fight week, there's a lot of emotions running high. But I'm sure you guys could guess. It's no secret. I'm going to go with Israel Adesanya. I think this is a better stylistic matchup for him. And yeah, not taking nothing away from Dricus. I think he's strong. He's gritty. He's tough. Hits hard. May not be the cleanest technically, but he makes up for it with his strength and his power and his grappling. So that being said, I'm going to go with Israel Adesanya. All right, guys. Now those are my picks for UFC 305 going down in Perth, Australia, live on ESPN pay-per-view. Make sure you are tuned in because I'm going to be watching, so you better be watching. All right.